Hi juniors, welcome to week 11 of Computer Systems and Programming. This week our lesson in Python will be of functions. So you've already kind of seen functions before, but to kind of connect it to an external use that you've done before, you've done these in math classes where you have a function is y equals x squared, let's say, and you have these variables and you can reuse these functions with different x values. So you can have x equal to, let's say, 10, and then you have your function that looks like this. In coding, what our function looks like, which you've already kind of seen before through my examples earlier in the semester, but just to pull one of them back, this is one of our activities when we were using conditionals. So for when I defined the function, we gave it a variable, my bad, I just created a new word, but you have your time, which is set in hours. And for this activity, if you can remember, you were trying to create the right greeting depending on what you put in for time, which is down here. So walking through it, you have these different conditions. Your first one is if it is less than 12 or before noon, it's going to say good morning to you. If it is between 12 and 4, it's going to say good afternoon. And lastly, if it's between 4 and midnight, it's going to say good evening. So this is how we utilized it so that we could kind of contain all of the information together, and regardless of what we put in for time, it'll kind of cycle through this conditional to see what the value is and then to give you the correct response. But to go further along with this brief intro, you actually have a separate video with Patrice this week who will further go into functions. You'll see that on our welcome page in Canvas. To go along with your lesson, you will have an activity prompt composed of math functions. So you'll be doing something simple, similar to what you would do in a math class. And then going further into functions, you'll have an activity where you are validating a password. So we have learned in our time together earlier at kickoff what good passwords are. We're going to utilize that information to create something that would help us check it. So you'll have instructions for that. And then as usual, you have a weekly quiz. It'll be similar to what I did in week 10, where you will be looking at snippets of code and figuring out what the output is. It'll be multiple choice, and the answers will display after you're done taking the quiz, so you can kind of look through it and try to make sense of everything. To show you everything in Canvas, this video as well as Patrice's lesson will be in the start page. The activity prompt will be located here, and you'll have your quiz. Are there any questions? Yes.
So this week I'm going to be learning about functions and then completing some math problems, I think you said.
Yes.
And the password validation tool. And then I just have to take the quiz.
So those are all the things you need to do. You have your lesson that you need to watch along with this video. You'll have your activity prompt with 2, maybe 3 activities. They're pretty short. And then you have your quiz. That's all. So I hope you have a great week of coding. Hopefully everything is functional for you. See you next week.